My dad vanished for 3 hours during a delivery route. The truth wasn't about trucking at all. My dad has been a long-haul trucker for 25 years, crisscrossing the highways from coast to coast, hauling everything from groceries to machinery. He's the calmest man I know, never raises his voice, never misses a deadline, and his routines are as predictable as the sunrise. He leaves at dusk, returns at dawn, logs every mile meticulously. So when I started noticing gaps in his GPS logs a few months back, those blank spots where the signal just dropped off for hours at a time, I chalked it up to spotty coverage in rural areas or maybe a glitch in the app. But deep down, it nagged at me. Dad wasn't the type to have glitches. Last month, I finally convinced him to let me ride along on one of his night deliveries. I was curious about his world, the endless blacktop, the hum of the engine, the solitude under the stars. We set out around 10 p.m., heading south through the Midwest, the truck's headlights cutting through the fog like knives. We chatted about nothing much: sports, my job, Mom's latest garden project. It felt normal, comforting even. But around 1:30 a.m., as we rumbled past a stretch of dense forest off the interstate, he suddenly flicked on the blinker and pulled onto a dirt shoulder. No warning, no explanation. The truck shuddered to a stop, and he killed the engine, plunging us into silence broken only by distant crickets. "Stay in the truck, no matter what," he said, his voice low and firm, eyes fixed on the trailer. He grabbed a flashlight from the glove compartment, slipped on his jacket, and stepped out into the night. I watched him disappear into the woods, the beam of light bobbing like a firefly until it faded completely. 10 minutes passed. I fiddled with the radio, trying to distract myself, but static was all I got. 20 minutes. I checked my phone, no signal out here. 40 minutes, and worry turned to panic. What if he'd fallen, hurt himself, or worse? His phone was still in the cab, plugged into the charger, mocking me with its full battery. I couldn't call anyone. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. I cracked the door open, the cold air rushing in like a slap. Stepping out, I strained to hear anything over the faint rumble of distant traffic. At first, nothing. Then, voices, whispering, urgent, laced with emotion. They were coming from deeper in the woods, muffled but intense. Heart pounding, I crept forward, leaves crunching under my boots. The flashlight on my phone guided me through the underbrush, branches snagging at my sleeves. The voices grew clearer, a mix of sobs and soothing words. Pushing through a thicket, I finally saw them. My dad, standing in a small clearing, his arms wrapped around a teenage boy who couldn't have been more than 15. The kid was skinny, disheveled, his clothes torn and mud-streaked, crying hard into Dad's jacket. Dad was murmuring reassurances, his hand gently patting the boy's back. "You're safe now. I got you. No one's hurting you again. We'll get you somewhere warm, with people who care." The boy looked up, his face pale and tear-streaked under the flashlight's glow, and spotted me. He froze, eyes wide with terror, like a deer in headlights. Dad turned, his expression shifting from gentle to stern in an instant. "Go back to the truck," he ordered, his voice leaving no room for argument. I hesitated, questions burning in my throat, but the look in his eyes, heart plea, heart command, made me turn and retreat. The walk back felt endless, my mind racing with possibilities. Was this some kind of deal? A secret meeting? We didn't speak until we were back on the highway, the boys safely bundled in the sleeper cab behind us, wrapped in a blanket Dad kept for emergencies. Dad drove in silence for miles, his knuckles white on the wheel. Finally, as the first hints of dawn crept over the horizon, he sighed and began to explain. "It started 10 years ago," he said, "at a dingy rest stop in the middle of nowhere. He pulled in for coffee and saw a man yelling at a small child, shoving him against a vending machine. The kid's eyes, bruised, terrified, haunted him. Dad couldn't just walk away. He confronted the man, created a distraction, and helped the boy slip away to safety. From there, it snowballed. Word spread in underground networks, truck stops, online forums for runaways. Kids in abusive homes reached out, desperate for escape. Dad became their lifeline. He'd deviate from routes just enough to pick them up at prearranged spots, like that wouldn't pull off. He'd feed them from his cooler, cash from his own pocket and drive them to trusted shelters across state lines. No cops involved, because too many kids begged him not to. They'd been through the system before, only to be sent back to their abusers. Foster care failures, corrupt guardians. The stories broke his heart. Over the years, he'd helped 14 kids, each one a calculated risk. He kept logs falsified just enough to cover the detours, blaming traffic or mechanical issues. I asked why he never told us. Mom, me, anyone. He glanced at me, eyes tired but resolute. Truckers see everything on these roads. The good, the bad, the ugly. Most look away, pretend it's not their problem. I refuse to, but if word got out, it could end everything. The kids need me more than I need recognition. That boy from last night, his name was Alex, though Dad never used real names. His stepfather, a violent drunk, had tracked him down after he ran away 2 weeks prior. The man was crossing states in a rage, armed with threats and a pickup truck. Dad got a frantic message through a burner app and rerouted to intercept, relocating Alex before the stepfather could close in. We dropped him at a shelter run by an old friend of Dad's, a place off the grid where kids could heal without fear. The rest of the ride home was quiet, but something had shifted between us. I saw my dad not just as the steady provider, but as a quiet guardian in the shadows, risking his job, his safety, maybe even his freedom, for strangers who had no one else. The boy, Alex, was safely placed in that verified shelter, far from his stepfather's reach. They've got counselors there, real support to help him rebuild. My dad asked me not to join his missions anymore, said it's too dangerous, that one slip could unravel it all. But I already told him I will. I've started learning the routes, the signals, the safe spots. If he's out there saving lives, I'm not letting him do it alone. We're in this together now.